So now that our money is flowing properly with all sorts of machines that are refueling the shelves as people are buying the goodies, with our beautiful catapult system here, we can actually look forward to working on proper alchemy. But of course, we can't get to the cool stuff until we submit 100 healing potions. Fortunately, we have everything we need to make them. We just need seeds, like a couple of flax seeds here and a couple of sage seeds. So we just gotta set up everything for them, and they take about the same length of time, but we can work on setting up the other stations too. Because to make the mash, we need grinders, and we need sage powder and flax, which all goes through the grinder, I think, through an assembler. So really, we're kind of copying this table here. Close enough anyway, but of course the steady flow of customers that we keep having to manage, but apparently in this shop here where we get our seeds and whatnot, there actually is an automatic cashier. It's just something we have to buy now for 3,000. That will certainly make my job a lot easier. I'm not sure where to get this copied to, so let's just put it over here, I guess, and then we can rearrange as needed. So this is supposed to make the potion, which actually means that we don't need these processors in the middle, just the grinders. But we do need 2 different materials to make it there. So that's gonna mean we'll need 2 boxes. I mean, might as well just use the small ones for these. Maybe we only need 2 grinders. So all of that should work for the potions, and then out the other end, we're gonna need somewhere to sell them, so we put in a potion shelf. Not really sure which way is the front, but I think as long as it's here, they can shop on it. But now there's a thingy. This might be rotated the wrong way. That's more like it. So there's that we can sell them now, but we're just gonna worry about collecting them, which means that we could probably shorten all this up. So that's all set up once we actually sell them, but for right now, we're just worried about collecting, which means that we probably need somewhere to actually have them join together at. And by join together at, I mean get collected. Ooh, the flax is ready to go now. Now we just need the sage, but we can start that process at least with 400 flax going in. Hopefully that makes quite a few potions because it actually costs 6 of each. Oh goodness. And of course in that process we have to make sure that all of these lines are running. So there's still quite a few purchases to make, and we should definitely make sure the flax is growing at all times because we do need it for the healing potions, but also the linen. We're trying to make money here. Speaking of, what random quests are there available? Some rope and stone. Well, there's a carpenter request. Might as well do that, which actually gave us more than just money. We got a checkout table and a large shelf. Very nice. This checkout table can be used for automatic checkouts. I would definitely like that a lot more. Also, weren't the ropes going somewhere, or did I just change that entirely? I might have just changed that entirely. So we're gonna need a new line for just rope. Ooh, but the sage is done. Now we get all of that plugged in over here. 400 sage, or I guess maybe a little less. Interesting, but that's all getting ground up, and once enough of those go in, the assembler starts turning. Menu, go away. 5,000 for the day. There's a healing potion, our first one, and it actually made a new one pretty quickly, but we can definitely have another line going here. So now we have 2 grinders going on the sage. Had to back up the box a little bit, and we're probably gonna need to do the same thing for the sage here, which the box decides to be a little interesting for. But now with 2 grinders going, it should process the healing potions at a bit of a quicker rate. Oh, and the sage is ready right away. Or the flax, I mean. So we can still keep the linen production rolling. Oh, and there's actually an urgent request for 60 linens. Wow, and we actually get silver pieces for that? Must be completed before midnight. I don't know if we can do that, but there is another carpenter request for more building pieces as a reward. Might as well keep our eye on this one, which means that selling linens might have to be put on pause. Well, that's an easy thing to stop for a little bit, and we also need 20 iron ingots for that one quest. So the carpenter is easily done. So let's see, we are up to 31 healing potions so far. That's actually looking really good. Also, I kind of feel bad for using this entire space for just a giant table. So why don't we change this around a little bit? That makes it a little better. At least we have all this floor space available. And so far we have 4 linens. That will take quite a bit to get 60 of them. And why are you walking in here with a sword out? Calm down, buddy. This ain't Skyrim. Now we just gotta hope the plants grow fast enough that they can be replenished pretty quickly, but I feel like we're not gonna be able to do that reliably until we get these nurseries here, because then it could actually be automated at that point. Since we gotta collect them, I think we could actually change this to mortars, and then we can just have this branch a third way. And whoop, no, I didn't mean to do that. I thought I changed this. Oh, this box being in the way is throwing things off. There we go. 3 shelves of mortars, although we could upgrade one of these to the large one. That might be better. Just gotta quickly pick up everything and then shuffle everything. Sorry. Currently in the workings of redecorating, refurbishing, or re-something, but actually that's all the catapults, stocking that with mortars. Let's line this up a little bit better, just so it's a little more visually appealing. And then I guess this one, can this one actually reach over there? Oh, it can. So now we have a whole thing, invalid angle. How is it that you're gonna be the one with the invalid angle? And of course, gotta restock on wood somewhere, so I guess just steal a stack from this. There you go. So we got 3 shelves of mortars and 3 shelves of small gears. And then hopefully this is still collecting linens. It is, good. And it looks like our healing potion production is put on pause while we're waiting for sage to grow up. So I guess now's a good time to just make sure all things on the line are going good. But how are we already down to the last rock there? And we're out of iron ore. Oh, that was limestone again. And iron ore is just so expensive. It's disgusting. Wait, there's actual, like, equipment slots? How have I never seen this? And how do I get these? I don't see anything that I can make. Is there stuff in the shop over here? Man, I gotta go shopping more often. What do you got? You got a whole bunch of trinkets. A whole crown? What's all this? Portal sigil, gelatinous gridlock. Sounds gross, but also meteorites. Is that just like a super expensive source of iron? Man, I think I'm in the wrong business if people are making a living selling meteorites. Now there's Flax ready for us again, and just as this is about to run out, so that's good timing. And there's the sage. So now we're in full production again, but it looks like we are about to hit midnight and there was only 13 linens made. We just won't worry about it. Unfortunately today, our expenses added up quite a bit. That's a lot for those seeds. Also, I haven't stopped to look at this until now, but look at how quickly the assembler is going. As soon as one potion comes out, it's like a second before the next one is made. That is flowing super nicely. And that right there should be potion number 100, yes! Submit that for 15 silver pieces, and for the next alchemy level. So we get new materials, and there's the automatic cashier, including portal sigils and red currant seeds, whatever that means. But we have the money, so we are definitely picking up one of these automated cashiers, because dealing with people is tedious, especially when there's so many of them. And we should have enough, yes, we have enough wood for the checkout table. So let's just get rid of this, set in one of these, and then the automated cashier is right here. So how do can you let me place this, please? I guess it went to its own hotbar to place it, sure. Oh, interesting, what? Hey, buddy, you're on the wrong side of the counter. We can't be having that. That's more like it. And it just goes, I guess? It has its own conveyor belt slots. Interesting. I guess that may mean for it to pair with like the purchasing portal. Import required money to acquire corresponding items, or the bank portal also. That all sounds like a good idea, but also some of these other things like a crucible. And you know what? Yeah, well, let's research this. Okay, there goes all the money. I think it's time we start selling the healing potions. And it's a good thing the Flax stopped, because that means there's nothing left in here to worry about for a little bit, so we can redecorate a little. But actually, there is these tunnel conveyors too that can be mounted on walls. That would certainly help gain into here, but for now, can we set up... Oh, I love hearing the money go on its own. Can we set up... Oh, this is a storage box. Oh, I had no idea. That's also not what I want right now. I just want a box to go right here that I think we can set a catapult on, as long as we get... Do we need more screws? I don't think we need more screws. So just get it right there. Of course, that's too far. So maybe we can just have our own system of conveyors going along the wall, just so I can, you know, continue to get in here. That should work for that so far. So they come up to here, and do they line up nicely with the shelves? I think they need a little more elevation for that. but that looks like it lines up. Maybe we can just do one shelf for now, especially since the production line is a little slow. But, oh wow, this doorway is so clogged up already. We need like a teleporter for these conveyors. I also noticed that we're not collecting the money ourselves, so we do have to check in at the register, but there's 1,300 waiting for us, which should be enough to research something else, like the tunnel conveyors, but also we're gonna need fertilizer and clay to make the nursery. So why don't we prioritize that a bit? So now that that's researched, we can see what that takes to make, which of course, oh man, I'm getting flashbacks. That was such a pain to set up. And since we're about to set up the nursery, we can upgrade the fertilizer efficiency and then more money. Okay, so to make the clay, we need charcoal powder and sand. And the charcoal powder is made with charcoal at the grinder, which is made at the crucible. I wonder if it would be better to have the potions come through this door, because then they could just arrive right here. I like the idea more, and no one's buying potions anyway. So we can hopefully pick all of this up, and then we can put the table right here in this corner just to keep things outside. And then we'll see how much of this we can copy. Let's just try that for now. Can I mirror this at all? Apparently not. Although I guess this does give us the chance to set up two different conveyors. One can go up here to this one, which I don't know if okay, we do need a little more room for that. So there's one shelf. Hopefully that's facing the right way. But now we have two conveyors going to the shelves. Pretty nicely, I think. Hopefully that actually makes it. I think it would. Although we won't find out until all of this is set up again. So let's just plug in the flax and hope for the best. All right, here we go. One healing potion coming down the track. Whoop, day's earnings. Which actually, yeah, with that quest complete, we earned a lot more. Totally forgot we had silver pieces that we can spend, so we could research more. But let's see if this is working first. There it goes up. And, oh no, it stops? Is this too far away? Don't really see a way to get that closer. How do we get this to the shelf? I mean, there is the catapult, but I was hoping to go without it. Oh, but I guess we are gonna need it. Well, that's what I get for trying to be unique, I guess. But that does mean that all of this can go away, and then the shelf can go right there. Hard to tell which is the front of this thing, but then we can just have a little baby catapult or two over here. Just a couple of those, a short distance away. Invalid angle on that one. Fine, you go up. And that should do it. Yes, is that? I still can't tell which way is front. I think this way is front, but I guess we'll find out when a customer actually comes in. Hello, sir. Would you like a healing potion? Oh, yes, he would. He would actually like, I don't know how many he's grabbing, but it's enough to make me 180 coins richer, so that's excellent. So now we have a line of healing potions set up. Although it's not quite automated, need a little more research to happen, which this clay, oh, I remember how annoying it was. But at least now we can research the nursery. And also, how is production over here otherwise? Still need stones, because always need stones, I guess. Oh, and there's a bulk order here for 30 silver pieces. Wow. But we still haven't even messed with bandages yet, because those also take healing potions. Never mind the fact that our next objective is the vitality potions, but maybe we don't worry about that yet. And also not forgetting to remove all this, because this is a lot of wasted materials otherwise. And now we actually have a door that we can pass through again. Now for the crucible, we do need another furnace, which we could probably set up over here again. Let's get a table set up kind of here on the corner, and then we can do one of these. And we can catapult some wood over to this table. Actually, why don't we just copy this table? Much easier. And then instead of an iron smelter, we have a crucible, which of course also needs things to go in here and make charcoal. Like I think that takes wood. So we'll need two different sources of wood, and then we'll need a conveyor over here because I want to set up a little catapult firing in this direction, but of course we need one more rope, and we are no longer making rope. I was holding out as much as possible, but we have reached our limit. We're not even using these anymore, and we are out of potions to sell. So at least we got 3,000 coins out of it. I swear, just gonna copy all these just so I have plants constantly growing. Also, this crucible is just so small. Like, we could probably put two side by side here, and that'd be maybe easier. Actually, we could put Wow, we could put 3 up here. I don't know how we could manage to fund all of that, but maybe we can do it. Just 3 different conveyors coming down after cooking up some charcoal. I forget what the other thing was. It's sand, which is stone in a grinder. Okay, that's the easy part. We've also got plant ash that is used to make the fertilizer. Oh, goodness. But if we're not selling linens, then we can work this around to be rope again, which is just the threads going in through a processor once more. And then these end up in a box, I guess. Okay, so now we can make another catapult to go just right here so we can throw right to this hopper, which thankfully makes it beautifully. Now we gotta split this somehow. I think the best way is by these things going up like this, but it needs to be a different one. Where'd those go? There's different hotbars and just so many menus to cycle through, but it goes up like that, and then through the 3 of them. That should work. And then they go up like that, and then also in like that, so that should be making charcoal and fueling itself. They also need to converge at some point, but we're not worried about that yet. Just want to see if it actually makes charcoal. So it goes in. All right, it's steaming, and check it out, charcoal. Now these also need to be mashed, so we're gonna need grinders in place. Thankfully, that's easy enough. Oh, we also need clay just to make these. At least it's not fueling it, I don't think. But they did change the recipe around just enough to be kind of annoying. And for right now, I guess we'll just place a large box so that the coal mash has somewhere to go, because it is producing quite a bit of it. And if this keeps up the wood production, which of course we need to get more wood instantly, I seem to remember there being a wood stockpile that we could set up. But of course, right now we can't for reasons, unless that's just a thing that we haven't researched yet. But we have researched everything. Up until this point anyway, so maybe that's just not a thing anymore. But that's what we have set up for the coal mash. Now we need something for the sand also, which is of course stone in a grinder. And we have a bunch of stone that we're not using here. So maybe this wouldn't be so bad to set up if we just copy all of this, which of course we need more rope for. And of course the rope stopped being made. I've also got a bunch of potions in hand that I didn't realize I had. Hey, and now we can check the day's finances for selling healing potions. So we made about as much selling the potions as we did the crucibles. I'd say that's pretty good, even though we spend all the money right away. We also, oh good, we have enough flax to keep things running for a little bit, and we actually just fill up our inventory. So we get a few in there, and then the sage, top it up, and then put all of this in the thing if it can hold it, and of course it can't. But now the rest of the sage can go in and make rope, because I think we're gonna need a lot more rope. But now we can have a line of, okay, do we want it going directly from the box to here? Nothing's wrong with that. Just need another hopper over here to catch it all, and then a line to go around to this side. Maybe we get a few grinders in place first, and then all of that can come around to its own box. And then the clay gets processed in something, flipping through menus. Okay, an assembler. So now we can make clay. Oh, beautiful, it's actually being made. Okay, we should probably get a box for this. There we go, we have clay. Now, how much do we need to actually make a nursery? This is a temporary setup. I hope it's temporary. We need 6, and of course we need more iron bars. Well, at least there's plenty in here. And we'll need 2 different nurseries for this. And this is without setting up the fertilizer, which is plant ash and quicklime. And quicklime is made from, or quicklime powder is made from quicklime, which is a stone going through crucibles. Yep, it is coming back. How painful this was. Hey, but at least we have 8,500 coins waiting for us. Maybe we really do need like a currency conversion, but we haven't really met anything that requires silver coins to be, you know, researched. So maybe we can hold off on that for now. I'm just glad we have clay going at a decent pace. And now we actually have enough to set up one of the nurseries. Let's just set that up here and see what it takes. So yeah, fertilizer, we need a seed. So we put this one for flax, for example. And then yeah, it just needs fertilizer. Just needs fertilizer after we just went over what it takes to make fertilizer. Oh boy. Also, we actually don't need the clay beyond setting up the nurseries. So we really could just have the setup for however much clay that we need, which we have one nursery here. We'll need a second one, and then it would be nice to have another one here for the rope production. So that's 3 nurseries, which means we need 12 more clay. And we have 6, so we can set up another one, which could probably just go on its own box right over here, as long as we have the fertilizer set up. But maybe we should work on that first before we change things. So let's copy this table and then just do a little bit of a cleanup so we can actually get this flowing properly, but I mean, this looks good. And are we gonna need like a second catapult just to transfer this for the fuel? I feel like the answer is yes. Although really it's catapulting over everything. Plus the stone and the wood are already over here. So I think we can just have this connected to this table here. And then a box to fill in this corner here. So we have somewhere that the wood can split to. But of course this is offset ever so slightly. Fortunately, there is room to move all of this. This is a little less painful than last time. We're just splitting the fuel cost, which I think this is, oh yeah, this is fine. We can split a little for this, but to get the stone up to there, we used one of these, and actually, there is a piece in the research tree for a crossway tunnel, and we should have enough money to research this. Just please research. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. But that way we could actually save space here. And I guess if we have a steady rope production, then we could sell pulleys for however much those are worth. Oh no, that's the research. They sell for 44 a piece. But now there's actually drawbridge conveyors that might help with the door congestion. And we are just making so much money here, even if we're not currently selling potions. But there's a drawbridge requiring no extra support. I do like that, but this is what I'm really here for, the crossway tunnels. But also, what do one of those drawbridge conveyors actually do? Okay, so it's like this, and then it just goes across like that. That would actually be not so bad for some of these narrow passages. Like this one. That would actually be exactly perfect. I'm not sure where we use that to clear up space here, but hopefully we don't need to, because now we actually have the crossway tunnel and we can make one. But whoa, this thing, okay, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Like, we would need a box just for one of these things. Although that would still help with this, so we just gotta bear with it and redecorate a little. Probably set up 2 of them actually and get this hopper a little bit further back, if it can take it. Or would it be better just to have the conveyor go under here? That looks better. That's way easier to do. So we just spent a lot of money on research for something that we solved just by, you know, going under things instead of trying to bulldoze each thing through itself. But here we go. We are making quicklime. Comes down the conveyor here, and then we'll be making quicklime powder, which we probably want going this way. We also need to set up plant ash. So let's just do a box here to save space, and it's, you know, going somewhere at least. So is it just any plant? It's specifically sage. So to keep the fertilizer, we need another nursery, and then we burn the plants to grow more plants. Circle of life. But that also needs a crucible. Yay, so many crucibles, so many fuel things. At least the fuel is staying topped up, even if it's not being, you know, currently used, which it probably should be used. And we need this thing just constantly being replenished. At least we are absolutely putting our expenses to shame with how much we're making. We just sold 80 potions that day. Oh, that is insane. We could probably use some to solve some quests here, but I don't think we gotta worry about that. Oh, we actually get a dispatch portal on the sample request for free? Just for making bandages, but that's another thing to set up. I think we'll just focus on what we're doing. At least we got a lot of clay here. I feel like it would be better to split this and instead of trying to split this path again. So box on this corner, but of course we need more planks, and their planks are constantly being shuffled, so there actually isn't a backlog of planks anymore. But there is a backlog of large wooden gears and so many other things. I feel like I need a box just to hold all the extras, which is probably what this is for. At least we got somewhere we can put this, and I can actually hold multiple different types of goodies, which is something nice. I didn't realize I could do that. Maybe we could have all the store products go between all of them, although there's no way to really separate them, is there? I also didn't realize how much rope we had. Now we just need lamp oil and bombs. And since this doesn't move anywhere near all of the time, and of course as soon as I say that, it starts to, because somebody feels like shopping for a bunch of small gears, we are still gonna need a box to just have a backlog of wood somewhere. Oh, these metal storage boxes actually don't use planks. Well, maybe that would be better to use. We just need a bunch of small gears, which I just put away. Don't worry about it. So we could actually change this to be a metal storage box like so we can hold more iron ingots at a time. And then probably this as well, just change everything out. So we just got reliable giant storages for everything. We don't really need that for this though. It just keeps moving. But let's see, we can do that here. Unfortunately, because this thing is constantly moving, it means it constantly needs fueling, which is annoying. as if this wasn't already annoying. And if we're constantly making quicklime for the fertilizer, then that needs constant fueling, yay. But at least we have a lot of quicklime powder already. Just need to set up how to burn plants. There might be a way to get two of these next to each other. Don't ask me how they're gonna be fueled though. At least we can make a little bit of fertilizer by stealing some sage here. It's not being used anyway. And then we could probably just manually make the burnt plant stuff. We just need to set up a tiny little box that directly feeds into the crucible. Get the plants in there, open up the crucible itself, shove all the planks in there. Check it out, plant ash. Don't worry about this little bit. Yeah, we're working on it. But now we have some quicklime, and then it goes in assembler. I also totally forgot I was gonna try and set up a box over here. I think we just need more table room, just by one though. And then maybe it can be something like some of that goes in to make gears and others just gets shuffled to do this, which we didn't really need to do things for, but I'm kind of growing impatient at this point. So at least that's doing something. So let's just get a table set up here, get an assembler on there, but of course we need more planks. And are these crucibles backed up anymore? No, they're not. All right, but there's an assembler. Get one of our magic metal storage boxes to put things in. Recipe set for fertilizer, yes. Conveyor out the other side just because it looks better that way. Quicklime powder and plant ash. Going in both indiscriminately because you know what? That works. We got fertilizer. Actually at a pretty steady pace too because it is 1-to-1. And now we can put that in the nursery here and it's actually planting. Although, wow, that really chews through fertilizer. And we just got one, but of course we need somewhere to, you know, connect to this. This might not be a bad spot for the conveyor belt actually. Or by that I mean the drawbridge, which does it have to go the way it's facing that way? Can it go this way? Oh, it can. But it needs a little more room. So back up this one and then just do that. Oh, that makes my life so much easier. Check it out, a steady supply of sage. But yeah, like I said, that just quickly chews through the fertilizer. And this is also not a permanent spot for it really, but oh man, so much of this needs to move. You know what, since we have a steady flow of money, we could see about buying new, no, not a loan. Wasn't there a thing to buy more land? Aha, for sale sign. 6,000 for this area? Is there a cheaper one? I don't even know how much this area is, but that's 8,000. Although that is the one that's like right back there. Whoop, hello. We just barely covered our expenses that day, but I guess we can buy this one as soon as we check the register and collect 5,000. And there we go, a whole bunch of new area, yes. Okay, so we got some fertilizer made, but how do we make this a steady go around with all the new space that we have? Well, probably by moving this table slightly, and then we're probably gonna need a nursery just for this, which seems like it'd be easier set up on a box all to itself. Just so we can, you know, drag and drop it somewhere. And it actually can go up right there to go into the box here. And then where should it go when it comes out? Well, since there isn't a whole lot of space here, something else we do have is a conveyor lifter. I just wasn't happy with these things before just because of the, you know, the 90-degree nature of it. Although there is this tunnel conveyor here that I finally want. Maybe we can get away with 2 of these. Although, yeah, this is what I didn't like because it's only like this direction. So there's no mirror, although I guess it can go like this. And then this goes like that and then like that. And then it just comes around down here. Okay, that kind of works for it getting down from one level to the next. And you know what? We're just gonna save this all as a blueprint before I forget, which actually, yeah, that caught all of it. Save as blueprint. Elevate. And then we'll just put a catapult here to go to a hopper over here. Oh, hoppers, what would I do without you? But we also gotta move this one. Please connect to it, yes! But I think I want it more like this, just so we can keep one thing for quicklime and then the other for plant goo, which I think we need to put a little bit of fertilizer in there just to fuel it. And we still need a way to split from this and then go to everywhere else. Let's just make sure this is in place first. And of course it needs fuel. So you know what? Have like all the fuel, at least a little bit. And can we set these up to save space? That kind of does, but man, we already split the fuel so much. And of course, none of it matters when nothing has resources in it. Oh, give me the money. Now I'm kind of wanting that resource thing back. Now let's just get this directly into a storage box like so. So we can have 2 different exits. One go that way, another go that way. And then part of it can go over there. Is it coming around again. I'm gonna watch the elevator work, but it needs like so many things to make it work. And I mean, this thing is getting fuel, but the crucible isn't getting any supplies. So let's just take a little bit from this to fuel the thing. And check it out, you can actually watch a plant goo go down the elevator. Well, for a little bit, and then it comes down there, around, and into the catapult. Okay, hopefully, once this thing is actually up and running, it can self-sustain it. I was about to say self-sustain itself, but it can basically just, you know, keep itself busy. I think we need to plant up a lot of sage just as backup, and maybe some flax too. We do not have a lot of money. Okay, but the nursery is actually going pretty well on its own, and I forgot there's no way for the quicklime to get over to here. But also, is the quicklime line staying busy? It looks like it is. And since this is elevated, we could actually set up a thing for it to skip across all of these using my new best friend, the conveyor belt that's on a drawbridge. It actually almost reaches. We would just need a corner here to be braced for a turn, like up like that. Oh, it's off by 1, really? And then I guess it needs a little bit more, so we'll need both of those anyway. Great, it is what it is. Okay, now there's a way for the quicklime to get over here as soon as we connect it to this. But of course, we are short by exactly 1 piece of lumber. Get in there. There we go, quicklime put in. And we can't even like raise and lower this if we wanted to. So what's the point of it being a drawbridge except for crossing gaps? Does it have to be a drawbridge for that? But in theory, that should be a self-sustaining fertilizer line. Man, those expenses really add up at the end. Can I just have an option to have these constantly be refueled, like at the beginning of the day? That'd make my life so much easier. And I don't even know what we're doing over here. Why are we still making clay? I guess we now have a bunch for more nurseries. Great, but now we need a way for the fertilizer to get over here, which actually isn't too big of an ask. We just need this box to be somewhere else, if we even need a box anymore, but might as well just have it going, because who knows how many other nurseries we're gonna need. But of course it can't stay there because it's not enough room for the nursery regardless. Oh, I'm about to lose it. Okay, I've got something cooking here. Work with me. We got a catapult, and the nursery is on a box right over here. Do you see? Can you connect the dots? I sure hope so, because I barely can. Basically, it's a bunch of this. Or I guess only need 1 of them. Or like this. Do we even need that? We need this here, and then just a short bump to that. Can this please connect to the drawbridge? Oh, it's ever so close. Good enough. Okay, and then this catapult over to here. And voila! We have a multi-catapult system of getting fertilizer from the assembler or whatnots to the flax. I gotta set this up for flax. No seeds available. Oh, I guess I planted everything, and it's all grown up. So we got backups. I also totally forgot I was gonna originally get the fertilizer over here for both nurseries. But you know what? Now we got this. And there's a bit of a backlog for fertilizer to work. As soon as the conveyor belt actually leads somewhere. Not that it really needs to go into here, but at least this way we can have like a storage built up. But from here, it can split like this. And then we get another one of you. So now it splits. Hopefully it doesn't back up too much. And then we need a bit of a, oh, this is gonna be a bit of a loop-de-doo, isn't it? I keep forgetting about the elevators. That should be a little cleaner, I think. Okay, I don't know what I did there, but now there's a permanent blueprint of an elevator. And I can make more by trying to change the, I see. Word to the wise, don't copy with middle mouse and then try to change form. That's not how that works. And now oh boy, this is ugly to work with. Although that does line up really nicely right there. So once it's all connected over like this, don't worry about how convoluted it looks. Fertilizer goes in the elevator, up the elevator, over and down the elevator, and then into the sage. Yes! Oh, that actually can work, but why is it not being fueled anymore? Did we ran out of something somewhere. What, did we run out of fuel? Yes, we ran out of fuel. And already I can sense that we might need 2 crucibles burning plants to keep up with the demand of fertilizer production. But I mean, you can watch it go right there. Although, why is it's all coming out one door? That's a problem. You know what? We don't need a big box here anymore. We just need a little box. And then it can do this. That should work better. So we got some fertilizer going to here to constantly refresh it. And then we got fertilizer going over there, doing a very fun bee hop looking thing to fuel the things over here, which is in turn making healing potions that people are buying up like instantly. And so in that respect, we have automated money production. A little bit, as long as there's fuel. Oh my gosh, it goes through so many raw resources. resources. I feel like we're gonna need 2 different fueling systems here for this, but also a whole bunch of fuel gets used there, which is not great if it's not burning anything. And we also need limestone constantly being produced so we can make quicklime and mortars. The mortar belt is, oh, it's almost empty. Oh man, keeping this thing stocked up is quite a bit of work here. And the truth of the matter is we don't even have the things researched to get the vitality potion in place because we still need a blender and everything else. But that was a lot to set up just for a constant health potion production line. And also we started to break the game a bit. So maybe we've done enough for one day. I'm just glad to get a steady flow of constant money. And if you guys do want to see more from Alchemy Factory, then be sure to let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and sub to Intern.